No, within the Ministry of Health, doctors, nurses, why is it that their issues are always very, very, predominant? I mean, you don't hear or you rarely hear of other professionals, backing on strike. It's always the doctors, nurses, and other professional bodies.
You see, at the commencement of this engagement, you use a particular word, incessant. And that's why some of us feel bad. Because, that has implication.
Yes.
The perception of the people out there.
Yes.
That, oh, no, this is getting too much. That is not to say that some issues are not legitimate and demand attention. But all we have always, at least, let me be more personal now, that I have always advocated a little bit of patience. We will get over it. And that's what we've been doing. You see, but don't forget again that we also have to go to the Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning. It's not as if everything is with us that we can just dish out. So it's a process. And I said that earlier on, government process is a bit slow. That is the truth. And we have to go through it all to get things done at the end of the day.
Dr. your response.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm delighted because my medical elders here, the two ministers, have kept absolving NAD by stating that their demands are legitimate and rightful, and by also stating that the processes in the government is slow. So in other words, it's not necessarily the fault of the doctors. But the question we ask here, but before I go that, I want to quickly appeal to the Honorable Minister of Labour and Employment with regards to my principal, the President of NMA, that he did not call for a sack. I mean, they're friends, they're very good friends. In short, they spoke a few times, I'm aware, 17 minutes, 20 minutes. They've been old friends, so probably it's just a discussion. And he only said, they should be called to maybe order or they should look at it. No, he didn't say that they should be sacked. And I think the Honourable Minister will call his friend and they will talk over a bottle of drink on it. However, I want to ask a question. Must we come to the point of strike before demands are met? This is what happened with that of the House officers. This is what happened with COVID allowance. This is also, if I may state it, I was in that meeting with the Honourable Minister of Employment, Labour and Employment, sir, my elder, when he, of course, told us the problems associated with getting the funds to pay the 3 months. If you look at the agreement, it was said 3 months in the first instance. After that, another 3 months and on. He also mentioned to us that though things are tough, but we'll be looking at it, and from there we get into a discussion of hazard allowance. That is a proper hazard allowance. By December, this was around July, because the first money was paid, I think March, April, May. Now, June, July, August, nothing. COVID was still on. We were still suffering. The doctors were still dying. Infection was still going on. September, October, November, nothing. We're not even discussing hazard allowance. I don't know if you understand me, ma, that when we have put a process in place and we agreed, we even wrote, and nothing is being done. So it is only at the point of writing and probably giving a warning strike or giving you ultimatum that everybody jumps up. At the end of the day, it is going to be difficult to achieve what you had 6 months to achieve within a month. And then we come to this particular level. If I tell you now, ma, that if they decide, okay, let's not discuss again, let us call up this strike. We are I believe from antecedent that we may see come back to this same level, we may see discuss here again, probably in 6 months' time. So I'm not saying that the strike should not be called off. NMA wants the strike called off. But what NMA is saying and what NAD is saying is that government should put their act together and do the needful.
Is it NMA that is determining whether or not NAD should call off the strike?
No, definitely NMA doesn't determine whether NAD should call off the strike. We only advise NAD. NAD is an affiliate of NMA. And whatever they're doing, they keep us informed. We are aware. And many times we have to modulate, we have to negotiate. It's not like, as for this, in short, it gets a point. NMA will not even tell NMA, sorry, we are tired of listening to you. You said you promised us, you assured us that you talk to the government, they will listen to you, and at the end of the day, nothing is coming up to it, and they are the receiving end. So you see, you don't blame NAD. At the same time, NMA is also tired of, no, I'm not saying tired, but it's not too easy. You go to negotiate, you come back, you talk to them, and at the end of the day, we don't get to the point which we all agree. And it now looks like NMA is not. It now looks like NMA is not responsible. We don't want that situation. Okay. But what we are appealing is that we are appealing to the government that they are both representatives of government here, though our members, to help as much as possible to get this issue cleared.
It's all right.
So that, yes, thank you.
Yes, so thank you so much, Dr. Philip Sakpe. Dr. Uyulawa Uyi, let's get your thought on this. The strike is on. Government has put in its best. I mean, government is putting its best, try to give in what it can, and of course, the MOA is still there, which you're still working on. It is implementing it, and of course, you are too, but you're still on strike. I mean, where are you headed? Where are you headed in the sense that where do you want to reach to? Won't you give government the breathing space to see how much they can go in trying to implement what you have in the MOA?
I think we need to get some things right. In the country generally now, the judiciary is on strike, the educational sector is on strike, and part of the health sector is also on strike. We are no longer in the analog age. It's digital now. When you say a memorandum of actions, means that in the budget office, the payment for the house officers can be computed in a computer and paid to them. The payment for those on gift mix can be computed and paid to them. We're not in the Stone Age, where we have to wait for 4 months, 4 weeks, 5 weeks before they get paid. Thank God my Honorable Minister of Labour and Elder said that since 1991, the hazard allowance was discussed. But he is also aware that some months back, over 8 months back, it was said that the payment for COVID allowance will be made in 3 stages. One, the first 3 months, follows after with the next 3 months. Then, a permanent hazard allowance will be discussed for all health workers. As it stands, it's over 9 months.
But all the same, it seems that maybe Minister Ngige, you may want to respond to this because
the Secretary General of NMA and himself have said it. If they go to that MOU, they should read it carefully. I'm an administrator.
The MOA.
What we had for COVID is MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, which I said can be renegotiated or rediscussed. But when you put Memorandum of Action, you start implementing.
Which you did at the end of March.
Sorry?
Which you did at the end of March.
Which I did?
Which you had at the end of March.
No. Last year we had that MOU around
March,
April, or thereabout.
Yes.
Because I know about the government dwindling revenue and finances, we agreed on what we can call a humongous payment. 3 months in the first instance. That is what is there. These are the ones that's talking about another 3 months. It's not there. Go and read it properly.
Sir.
I'm coming. We discussed it verbally on the table and we said, if government finances are okay, we can do another 3 months. So in the Memorandum of Understanding, what you have is 3 months in the first instance. And there is no way you will go and budget 20 billion for 3 months. Even that 20 billion had a 10% increase on it. And by the time we paid first month, second month, the money was wiped off.
Completely.
And that was what is in the budget, in the appropriation. Okay. So we didn't have money to even pay for the 1.5 months that was remaining. And the Minister of Finance and myself were running helter-skelter on what to do. At the end of the day, the President had approved for us a special 2 billion. So the 3 months in the first instance is because we know. We all agree that government finances may not carry another thing, but that we shall go into hazard discussion, which I have started with NMA, and which you did not tell, you didn't disclose to NAD, because the way they are talking, it looks like we have not started any discussion on the hazard.
But
improvement.
We have very few minutes to wind up.
Yes.
But I'd like to ask, he said some people have not been paid, some of his members have not been paid within a span of 4 months. Why is that so?
The house officers have started receiving money. As of this morning, I spoke with the Accountant General's office. I know, and I spoke with 2 CMDs in Ebonyi. All the house officers have been paid for the 3-4 months. Okay. And do not also know, you see, when they say our members have not been paid, some of these members were recruited outside the quota given you.
That's the
issue now. By the chief medical directors.
By the hospitals.
And you don't blame them because the pressure is much. Pressure in their workplace because they need a workforce. Because some people have visited. For example, in Ebonyi, their quota is 12. By NMDC standard. But they recruited 125.
That's the thing now. Honorable Minister,
125.
Yes, we'll take
so I want to let you know, for the benefit of Nigerians, that these house officers are now being paid. Their money is going. I was owed 2-3 months as a house officer in 1979 because my documentation was wrong.
So what's your what's your last message in just a sentence?
My last message is that we have an MOA that is signed and is being executed. Number one, we have abolished what they call benching in training, by which 2 hospitals pay each other. When the other hospital doesn't get the money for subspecialty training for a resident, they will not ask the resident to pay. We abolished it. We abolished taking 15,000 out of their salaries for housing, give them their money. They negotiate with their local authorities and say how much they will pay. If they cannot pay, they go and rent somewhere outside. We have started paying the house officers, like I said now. It's part of the MOA. We have also opened the portal. We asked MDCN to open the portal, their portal. We get them days. So these executions are matters of days.
Okay, so
and there are some that are weeks. And that's why we agreed in the MOA that we reconvene after 4 weeks.
Okay, just before the minister takes it, we'll take our last correction.
No, again, let me say it. When you're on the negotiating table in labor, you don't declare strike. It's illegal. It's against the labor law.
Dr. Ekpe, your last, please, in a sentence.
Thank you very much. Just to correct what we know. The first instance means should the COVID, we didn't know how COVID was going to last. We all assumed that perhaps within 3 months it's over. And that is why it was first instance. Should COVID continues, we will continue to pay. It wasn't on the basis of government. That was part of that negotiation, and that is what I know. That is what I understand. That is one. Yep. Then 2, well, like you said, my last statement, I just appeal to the government. Nigerian people are suffering. NMA, NAD are not happy that they're on strike. They will want to call off that strike. Thank God the Minister of Labour and Employment is here, who have stated clearly that action is being taken. Yeah. So probably you should call back NAD on the negotiation table, make it very clear the situation of things, and say, okay, fine.
I'm calling you. Okay, you are going to lead them and come
to call off this strike.
Okay, thank you.
They should do their own part. We are just waiting for them. Once it is done, let us not wait again. Let us not keep waiting for when we give ultimatum. Sorry, man. When we give ultimatum, let's not wait to when we give ultimatum before we say we are negotiating. Thank you.
Well, I mean, mine is just an appeal to our colleagues out there that please go back to work. All that we need to do from the side of government is being done to ensure that we manage the health of our people, and that we should do everything possible not to wear that toga of incessant strike. And we don't want anything that will diminish the dignity of the profession. And of course, we also need the sympathy of the people in whatever we do.
Oh, thank you so much, Senator Olurumembe Mamora. Well, thank you so much for being part of this program this morning. Dr. Chris Ngige, it's our pleasure. We enjoy your elucidations and explanations.
Thank you.
We hope, wish you all the best.
We wish that.
Dr. Uyulawa Uye, the National President, Association of Resident Doctors. So we thank you so much for being part of this program this morning.
Having me.
It's our pleasure. Thank you very much. And we also apologize for that little break in the disconnect we had with Dr. Uyi Machar in the discussion of this program. It's Good Morning Nigeria. Finally, we take up the sports, and that is the 20th National Sports Festival has been formally declared open in Benin City, that we all know. We now join Mahmoud Ibn Mohammed Rada for the details of what's happening in Edo.
From the dry lands of the north to the apart from providing a platform for Nigerian athletes to showcase their dreams, one thing the National Sport Festival seeks to achieve is to promote unity amongst Nigerians.
You reap the reward of hard work, of perseverance and determination through your performance and conduct, so that you can be the real role models for other youths in Nigeria. So I urge you to put in your best. Be a good sportsman and acknowledge when you have been battered by your peers. National Sports Festival, as we all know, still remains one of the veritable tools for uniting our country, as well as bringing our young men and women to interact, to make friends, to compete, and also provides an avenue to discover talents for various sports that will represent the country in the global sporting arena.
With this colorful display, the 20th National Sport Festival, Edo 2020, has officially kick-started.
That was Mahmoud Ibn Mohammed. Thank you so much for that bit from Edo. It's really happening right down there. I really want to appreciate you also, Nigerians who have spoken to us through the tweets, and of course we had a lot of them. First to Sekimbo, Jackson, Mike, and you, and they have some too there.
Yes, unfortunately we can't mention all of them, you. Yes, so we hopefully we will do that tomorrow. But Nadabo, you want to sign off?
Well, that's Good Morning Nigeria for you today. We thank you so much for watching. See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
What limits you? Nothing. Who defines you? No one. Where can you go? Everywhere. With unlimited super-fast internet access, free Intel to Intel calls, and crystal clear quality conversations, you can do and be whatever you want to be.
Intel. Live more. wonderful news. The village headmaster is coming back to your screen. Mo wire abi mi o wire.
Teacher ló mọ̀, a fẹ́ lọ wá nǹkan jẹ. Teacher ló mọ̀, a fẹ́ lọ wá nǹkan jẹ.
The premiere of the new season of The Village Headmaster, initially scheduled for the second quarter of 2021, has now been postponed till further notice. We apologize for this short notice and promise to keep our viewers and advertisers informed as soon as we have a new date.
And I know that even you too, you are getting a lot of orders too. We are trying, Shao.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can watch NTA International live on your TV, computer, iPad, tablet and phone. Log on to visiontv.co.uk and click on Entertainment, then NTAI. You can also download the iOS or Android app on your mobile devices to watch NTA International on the go, anywhere in the world. NTA International, your window to the world.
This is the network service of the NTA.